Hey guys, I'm Tom the Tech Chap, and I want to show you something. This is a 65-inch TV. It's a very nice TV, and by most standards, a pretty big one. But what if we took things a little bit further? Let me introduce you to the AWOL Vision LTV-3500 Pro, a tri-chroma laser projector. Now turning it on, you can see that's quite a bit bigger. And actually, this isn't even as big as it gets. This is a 120-inch projection right now because that's how we've set it up. It can project up to 150 inches. Now you're probably thinking, Tom, this doesn't look particularly good, A, because we have a TV in the middle of it, and also because we don't have a screen up. And so with a press of this button, like magic, from the floor rises an ALR screen. This is the AWOL Vision floor rising screen. I've got the 120-inch model here, and you can simply hide it away at the press of a button. Plus, if you use the bundled USB synchronizer dongle, when you turn on the projector, the screen also rises. Very clever. And it makes all the difference if you have a projector, especially a higher end one like this. Doesn't have to be a floor rising one like this, although the benefit of that is you can, well, with the press of a button, literally hide it away. You haven't got a big gray screen on your wall. But you can also get a fixed wall mounted one as well. So for context, I am 6'2", and it is absolutely massive. And in fact, at 120 inches, this is 3.5 times the surface area of a 65-inch TV, which is nuts, and it can go up to 150 inches. So for TV shows, movies, and of course gaming, this is one of the best gaming projectors I've ever tried in terms of a much lower response time. And of course, this is all at 4K resolution, 4K 60, or even 1080p 120, so you can get a high refresh out of it if you want. And actually, if you pan over there, Pete, you can see we have a studio light on. So this setup is even better in the complete darkness, but with the 3500 lumens that this is projecting, which comes out to just over 1,000 nits, which compared to a regular TV is pretty impressive. You can use this in the daytime or at night watching movies and playing games. We're also talking 2500:1 contrast ratio. So obviously it's not up there with OLEDs or mini LEDs, but for a high-end LED LCD TV, very, very good. And it also supports 3D. Comes with a pair of active 3D glasses, so if you fancy watching Avatar 2, The Way of the Warrior, or whatever it was, not a bad option, although I can't say I've watched many 3D TV shows and movies recently. Now, to be fair, I actually hadn't heard of AWOL Vision, the brand, before making this video and working with them on this project, but actually they are a US-based company. They were formed in 2020. They have a store in Florida if you want to go and check it out. They also offer 24/7 phone and web support if you've got any problems, and they offer a 2-year warranty. Now this is a ultra short throw projector, UST, and that is part of the sort of premium price tag that you pay over a traditional projector that you might have to mount on the roof or around your room and have long cables, and it's a bit of a nightmare. I love a UST projector. You do have a minimum height between the top of the projector and the bottom of your screen. So if you were to raise this guy up and say put it on a TV stand or a nice coffee table, I would also need to raise up this guy to a similar height. They both have to go up together. Now unfortunately it would take me a couple of months to get a really nice piece of furniture that is a little bit over 2 meters long for me to mount this on, to put it on top of. So for now, we have it on the floor, which works perfectly fine. It is a pretty flat surface, and also you can adjust it with the feet. And of course, with any projector, you can change the size of the screen by how close it is to the screen. So at 20 inches away, you'll get the full 150-inch projection. So you can have it anywhere between 80 and 150 inches projected onto your wall. Although, for me, big is always better. The whole setup took me about 5 minutes, and the AWOL Vision comes with an adjustable focus and also an 8-point keystone correction. So you can make micro adjustments to the picture size and the image quality. My head must be massive right now, but let's talk about the specs of this thing. So the projector uses a Ricoh f2.0 pure glass lens, which apparently is the largest on the market and also the best for ultra short throws, giving us impressive clarity even up to 150 inches. It also uses 3 lasers, and therefore, unlike cheaper projector alternatives with a single laser, doesn't require a color wheel. So the RGB triple lasers improve the color vibrance, it reduces noise and rainbow effects, something I have experienced on other projectors, and also helps color vibrancy and, crucially, color accuracy. We're talking 107% of the Rec 2020 gamut. Also the 3500 lumens brightness, as I say, works out just over 1000 nits. And also we have every HDR format under the sun pretty much. HDR10, 10 Plus, HLG for broadcast, and with the new update and also on the Pro model, Dolby Vision, which is not something you get. You don't get all the formats on some of the high-end TVs from like Samsung and LG, so that's definitely a bonus. It will also say we're looking at over 25,000 hours of life from the projector, which is a long time. I think they've also been very clever by bundling an Amazon Fire Stick TV Max, so you simply plug it into the back of the projector, and they've actually built this hidden compartment just to accommodate the stick. And that way we don't have to worry about some slow, unoptimized, horrible Android UI. You can simply switch to HDMI 1 and you have the nice, fast 4K Amazon Fire TV OS UI. With all your streaming apps like Netflix, Amazon Video, Apple TV, and of course even game streaming with Luna. The AWOL Vision does still have this hub menu where you can switch between the HDMIs and you can access any USB drive you may have plugged in. And also with this LTV-3500 Pro model, it's also smart room ready. So the AWOL Vision is seamlessly integrated with Control 4, which means you can control everything from the power, the volume, the HDMI source, whether it's via the Google Assistant or Amazon's Alexa. The problem with most projectors, even really high-end, really expensive ones, is that even if they can project at 4K, the response times are just far too high. On a video I recorded last year with a really high-end expensive LG projector, even at 4K, the response time was like 53 milliseconds or something. It made most games unplayable, like how responsive it was between pressing shoot and your gun going off in the game. Now with this, the AWOL Vision, we're talking just 15 milliseconds at 4K 60 and 8 milliseconds at 1080p 120 Hz. So for twitchy or competitive fast-paced games, it makes a world of difference. And that is all down to the new turbo game mode that we get with this. The only downside is enabling game mode does noticeably dim the screen, which is okay if you're gaming late at night or you can close your blinds, less than ideal for a bright living room. Plus, for whatever reason, when you enable turbo mode, it actually disables the keystone correction, so you then may have a slightly skewed picture. So right now I have my PS5 plugged into one of the HDMI ports. There are two other ones, one which supports eARC, so that's where you're going to want to plug in your soundbar or speaker system, which I probably would recommend because while we do have inbuilt speakers and they do get loud, they're a bit muddy, a little bit bassy, so I would suggest an external setup for your sound to get the best cinematic experience, which leaves one HDMI left. I'm also sitting about 10 feet away from the projector and I really can't hear it at all. They tell me it's about 32 decibels, but if you've got any kind of volume on for your show or game, yes, there's a little bit of noise, but it's not distracting in the slightest. Plus it supports Dolby Atmos and DTS Virtual X. We also now get a cinematic 24 FPS mode, which of course is the frame rate of movies. And we also get MEMC motion smoothing, and you can adjust the level of this. I generally keep it in the movie mode, and it just helps remove a little bit of the judder and make everything feel even smoother. Now, as you can probably guess, this is a fairly expensive setup. You can buy the projector individually, you don't have to get it with this floor-rising screen, although I would definitely suggest some kind of ALR screen because it does significantly improve the picture quality, particularly the contrast and the color vibrancy. Now, of course, there are pros and cons to buying a projector versus a regular TV. The main advantage here is, of course, the size. 120, 150 inches, it's insane. The LTV-3500 Pro also boasts an impressive brightness, color accuracy, and with that Ricoh lens, the biggest on the market, versus the competition, it offers improved detail, sharpness, and it's allowed them to increase the contrast to 2500 to 1. And also, this projector uses significantly less power than a similarly sized LED TV would, which will save you a bit of money. So while there are projector alternatives out there, I reckon if you want a big, bright, high-end consumer ultra-short throw projector, then the AWOL Vision LTV-3500 Pro, or indeed one of their more affordable LTV-3000 Pros, which also has Dolby Vision and Smart Home mode, but with 3000 lumens of brightness. They're definitely worth considering. And you can buy them on AWOL Vision's official store or even on Amazon, and make sure you use my discount codes for the best deal. And also let me know if you've got any questions. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on the Tech Chat.